Hi guys, Garfnix here, ready for another squad line battle. You're joining us today on 25th. We've got Housegangster, my very own pal and homie Housegangster versus Fucksick. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm not familiar with this player before, but I think that's how you say his name. We're on Sam Heracles, we're on server 2, squad line battle. We're going to just jump in a sec after I said a couple of thank yous and talk to No Connection, who's streaming for the Axis. We're on Allies today. If you want to see both perspectives, obviously go check him out as well. Make sure you jump on his, I think he's going to maybe start a Discord or something as well, so go check him out. Have that open in another tab, and yeah, you can see kind of both perspectives then. Okay, so hopefully any moment we'll be ready to jump in with him. Let's see if he's there. Let me check. I've got push to talk on my my what's it, otherwise he'll get annoyed if I just jump in and start talking. Hello.
Hello.
Am I interrupting?
No, I was just going to go through the map, but that's all.
Okay, sweet. Well, me too. That's perfect.
Nice. So, how are you? Are you ready for tonight?
Yeah, I'm all good, actually. Thank you. I am looking forward to this one. I feel like we've done a lot of these lately.
Yeah, we have.
But I'm definitely looking forward to this one because it's always nice to see Housegangster out. Being commander.
Yep.
Feel like he's born to play this role, so it should be a good one today. I'm not familiar with Fucksick, but I look forward to seeing what he's got. Let's have a chat about the map, shall we? I mean,
that's exactly what I've said. Pretty much. And it's good that we're getting a little bit of a role going on between us into these streaming both together. You know, it's good that we're kind of pretty much both on the same wavelength as well in terms of what we expect from the games, which is nice to see.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I think you've got a good perspective as well. So I've just been saying actually, for people to come open your stream on their tabs as well, or check it out if they're watching the VOD, to get both perspectives. Yeah, I think it works well. Looking forward to the seasonal as well. Hopefully we can do a bit more then.
It's about 3 weeks' time now, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, Sam Heracles.
Yes.
We were just briefly talking about hopefully Sam Heracles is probably the best one to have in terms of infantry and tanks and being it as most brutal. I think for viewing perspective and watchers and casting, I think we much prefer Hospice because it's got a bit of everything.
Yep.
And I don't think anyone really wants Checkpoint because it's quite easy and it's quite boring.
Yeah, that could be true. I mean, I think Sam Heracles is always an interesting one around the church in terms of there's a lot of gunplay, there's a lot of kills.
Oh yeah.
But it's quite predictable in terms of the advances and stuff. So yeah, you're probably right with Hospice. I mean, Checkpoint's obviously Tank City, really.
Yeah. And you're just loving it because it's so open and it's where they're going to come. And arty is, if you're your experienced artillery, you'll be able to just snuff them out whatever side you run.
Well, that's right.
But if you're on Sam Heracles and you get close enough, I think we've seen it a few times before where an assault or an engineer goes up to the church and satchels and then
gets the satchel actually on the building, takes out so many people inside.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because looking at the hardpoint circle, it's literally on the church. Okay, there's a bit of the circles in the churchyard as well, but it's not like you're going to be standing there very long because it's so open. So the only place that players can be in the hardpoint realistically is inside the church. So like you say, when you're attacking it, if you can, or counter-attacking it if you're defending and it's been overrun, if you can get your satchel down on the church, it can be so powerful because obviously it can kill all those players through the wall, basically.
Oh, exactly. So where are you expecting, obviously, the first bit of push onto Sam Heracles, if this is the point?
If Sam Heracles is the point, I think we can expect to see the trucks kind of moving, from the ally side, moving, avoiding the roads, but just trying to get the straightest line possible, basically, to get there.
Yeah.
They probably get a garrison up around G5, or well, it's Housegangster, so I kind of
Anything's possible
I
with
maybe
that guy.
know, yeah. So I'm looking to see garrison in like G4 keypad 4, or just above that, like up in that wheat field there, like in front of artillery battery, and then there'll probably be another one in like the back gardens,
Yep.
in F5 keypad 2, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit lower, like F6 keypad 7 type of area, like in those back gardens there. I think it's very powerful for the
Yeah.
allies, and
Yeah.
we can expect to see, so I'll be pointing it out as we go along, but you can expect to see like very, very powerful garrison structure and a very attacking style from Housegangster. I don't know, like I say, I don't know Fucksex style, but he's going to have to be quick off the mark probably, unless House is under some sort of instructions not to go for the 5-0 immediately. I think he will, because that's how that's how he rolls. So he's going to be like, I'm looking out for stuff that's going really deep, like early on. He's going to be dropping supplies the whole game. I'm looking for interesting half track plays. It's all to observe today. He's going to hate me saying this and calling out all his strats, but I'm definitely looking to see a very interesting game here from the Allies' perspective. In terms of the Axis, they're just going to go straight up the road, unless they're scared of the artillery, in which case they'll nearly go straight up the road, because they just have to get there ASAP. It's closer to the Allies. It's probably an easier advance for the Allies, so they need to get there as soon as possible and get those garrisons up in D column, so that they can, if they do lose the point, they can keep the push up, and then they need to start thinking about backup Garys as well. So,
Oh yeah, and I think
how
you're
about
right.
you?
They, I haven't heard much about Fucks, but if he's against House, he needs to be extremely careful with what he does, at all times. House is not the commander that will just come and help you push into the point. He will
Yep.
let you take the point, and then he will be on your next point,
He'll already
waiting.
be there,
Yeah,
like buy some supplies, building a
exactly.
garrison, or in a half track, like sitting behind a bush, waiting for the exact second to move, and then driving to the next exact position.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
So he needs to be very careful, and the defensive squads will need to be watching out for him.
yeah, and for any like budding tacticians, this is a good game to watch. Hopefully, like check out the garrison placement, look at the kind of the patterns, the formations of the garrisons from an aerial view. Like House is a world class level,
Yeah,
real time strategy
proper.
game player. So he's playing this game like Company of Heroes, not like Battlefield kind of thing. So it's a good one to like check the map for anyone watching today. This is like a map game, as much as it
Yep.
is a fight on the ground. But of course, he's only one man. Each commander is only one man. They've got 50
Yeah,
other people, or 47 other people, whatever,
yep.
48 other people. It can come down to all sorts of things. In on squad line battle, it's not a pre-planned clan game. It comes, are people going to do what they're asked? It comes down to commander's style. If he gets too kind of specific about where he wants things, then that could be House's undoing too, because he's asking too much of people who are maybe best used just like in a sort of free-form way. They coordinate themselves as a squad because that's how they're used to playing, and kind of let them be. So
Yep.
who knows? I'll be interested to listen to the command chat a little bit.
I think, yeah, obviously House is, from what we know of the two commanders, House is favourite to win. But if we look back at where it was Core against ESPT,
Yep,
BHPOP,
back on Saturday. Seems so long
yeah,
ago.
Rami was the underdog clearly
Yep.
against Core. You have to give it, but wow, he almost won the game.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's it. And if the I saw, in fact, House lost the other day, I
yes,
believe,
yes,
to 116,
yep,
right,
yep,
as commander. And part of that, like I watched the replay of the game afterwards, and I think part of that was just, it just comes down so much to like the people playing kind of thing.
yeah,
It's
it definitely does.
he'll play it like it's Company of Heroes, but that doesn't mean that like the units behave the same way, because that's what makes this game so awesome as a real-time strategy game. It's also a really, really good first person shooter as well. So it comes down to like the skill of first person shooters down on the ground, the willingness of people to like place Gary's in the right places, and if he gets stuff taken out like in his back line, he's a very, very attacking commander, and whether he'll be able to get back in time and get stuff down in order to stop a collapse like we almost saw against Core with ESPT the other day. Not ESPT. It is ASPT, isn't it? I'm getting them all mixed up. There's so many acronyms.
Yeah.
If we see that kind of collapse, then who knows, really. Those ally points, the final points, are really, really hard to defend. So, a good roll from Fucksec and the German side could really like do them a lot of favours. Although obviously they've not got great points on the return as well with like Western approach. If they get that, then it's pretty hideous. And
I think it does depend, on the points. It does matter, to be fair, who you are. You could be the best against the most underrated team, but if you've got the points on your side,
that's a
you're
huge
laughing.
advantage.
So if you say, for instance, you got the 2 top points, and then you go down to checkpoint, and then you have to go and you take it, or you got the 3 top points, and then you have to go all the way down at the bottom of the map. It works in your favor because the defending team that are losing will have to overcommit at that huge space.
That's right, and
can
so easily get caught out of position without redeploying, because like if and in a game where it's a bit less structure, it's not a clan match, it's not like they had a thing before the game where like, look, you have to redeploy exactly when I tell you, kind of thing. Like if the people don't redeploy, if they're asked, they just want to thirst for a couple more kills or something, that can just, all that time like adds up. And like you say, if it's a long way to go or there's a long run from like a back garrison or something, then that can be devastating. So or equally, like if there's space for teams to set up in attack or defense, like if you've got checkpoint and then Western approach and cemetery kind of thing, like that those 3 points there are just crying out for like setups with tanks and setups with half tracks, and like taking that road by checkpoint. If you control the road, then you can push through to the next point or defend your own point with ease, kind of thing. And we'll see it all to play for on the road if that's the case, if it is checkpoint. But hopefully we'll be started in a minute, and then I'm really looking forward to this one.
How many are we at the moment?
89, so almost there.
Yeah, almost there. But in terms of we got a few new clans as well in here that I haven't personally seen before. One of them is Cult. I believe they're Russian. Sorry, they're Russian Cult clan. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can offer in today's Squadline Battle. I also haven't seen Raptors before, personally.
No,
in the game.
I think I've seen them maybe once before in Squadline Battle, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So I'm certainly looking, and I'll be trying to keep an eye on those particular clans, because it's nice to have a little evidence and seeing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, could be man of the match, lurking in one of these. I think we should do that at the end. We're going to get the commanders in. Have you spoken to House? Is he willing to come on? I know he's very secretive.
Yes, he's very secretive. I'm trying to convince him. I think he will swing our way. I think he will be joining us. I know Fuchs is 100% in, so he'll be joining. But I might just need to little convince us. Well, you're on his side.
We'll see. Yeah, if he wins, maybe he'll come in. If he loses, or something like that.
So you've got the whole game to just
to try and convince him, text him
to get in here. But I think it's great having a commanders in the games, because it's different when we're watching. It's completely different, and to have their aspect on the game live and stuff like that, it's good. It's just good for the viewers and good for us as going forward.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I think it adds something to the game as well, and it's like a nice incentive for people to maybe play Commander, because apart from getting all the credit if you win, you know, it's cool to like sort of talk about what happened. I think adds a little bit something extra, and like you say, like we don't always from the air, we don't always kind of get the perspective of the people actually doing the fighting, they might feel like, oh, we're losing, and then all of a sudden they pull it around and win or something, and we're just thinking, oh, well, they were going to win the whole time. So, it really it adds something to it, I think, which is cool. So it'd be good to get House on, but we'll definitely do a man of the match at the end. I mean, the last couple of games that we've been streaming over the weekend, there's been some absolutely phenomenal play. From loads of different people, and I'm kind of in a bit of a hell let loose mood at the moment. I'm excited about the performance that we're going to see today, because it is going to be that. So
on the game against STDB against WTH, there was a few players that were like potentially man of the matches, in terms of kills and stuff like that. But I think the first one had to be the transport truck going down. I can't remember on the top of my head who that was. I think that was Gangy Boy from WTH.
right,
Right at the beginning when I was the
when he blew up the truck,
and managed to help cap the point. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you get a really good view of that on your stream. I saw that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yes, I think on the other team, who was it? I can't remember. It's Underlux, I think, is his name. Oh my goodness, this guy, he so he was literally defending like all game, did like the most kills of the whole team, and then right at the last minute switched to attack, and they almost won back the point. And ended up losing that final point finally after all that time. I reckon it's because he wasn't there, like he was just a one-man army out there. It was crazy. So good to see.
Great. Yeah,
just relentless.
But hopefully we can have another one.
We've switched now, I believe. So GG's, have a good one, and I'll catch you afterwards.
Yeah, have a good game.
Yeah, you too, mate. Bye. Okay, good stuff there. No connection. We'll catch up with him after the game. Let me sort out the overlay. We'll get us in the game now. Start a little squad. Okay, so the points, as I can see them, we've got checkpoint, which was the least preferred point, if you recall from our conversation just then, but it means that we'll probably see quite a lot of tank battles going on. And we've also got Russo de Ferme, Cemetery, Rue de Gambersville and La Prairie. Let me just get up in the sky, and then I'll get the map up and show you. Okay, so hopefully the game audio is working as well. You can see we've got a checkpoint down in the south, so we'll probably end up seeing the vehicles kind of move down here. This is like a gully down through here that you can approach the point from. They might build a garrison like more up here or in these buildings, and so they can kind of keep pushing the point both from the river and this way. Yeah, we see the move marker going up there. They'll probably also try and get round to Cemetery, build maybe a garrison up in these buildings up here, and try and probably get round through the town. We might see somebody going right up the top. Already I can see that supplies are down, so they're getting the nodes up, so that will keep the resources coming in to give the commander abilities, and keep the team supplied with tanks and bombing runs and all the rest of it. On the flip side here, on the axis, we'll probably see quite a lot of consolidation of the team around Rue de Gambersville, because it's a good point for them to push from. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of vectors of approach. And importantly, a way through down this road. This is like an open field area here, and buildings down in here. But if you can capture this building here, so this one here, we'll go and have a look at it in a minute. This is of vital importance for both teams, and basically whoever controls this has a huge advantage of controlling checkpoint. We'll see tanks like probably trying to get up to the road. We might see an Axis tank coming down the road. Not sure yet. We'll see. I mean, you can see that there are tanks already heading this way, so they're going to be trying to sort of set up a line here, and I should think probably vice versa. So we see some good tank battles. But infantry-wise, if they can hold this house, if they can not put a garrison up like right here where it's going to get artilleried, and kind of hold these areas here, and vice versa for the Axis, hold this area here and up here and capture the house, then that's where we're going to see the kind of the swings in control here. This house and these kind of close areas, and keeping the pressure up on the point. I very much expect to see quite a strong front line today, so between cemetery and checkpoint there will be probably quite a lot of fighting through this area in order to kind of stop that direct attack. Okay, the direct attack isn't quite direct in this case because it's across an open field, but we're going to see like approaches from here, so there'll probably be quite a lot of fighting there. Tank battles across this lower section here, and then lots of artillery and stuff around here, and good fights around the building. So we'll go and have a little look. Here's a cemetery beneath us now as we're kind of moving over the top. So these are the buildings where I mentioned we'll probably see a garrison set up, so around here somewhere, or in those buildings there near the church. Then this is probably a likely area for a garrison. You can kind of see like on the edge of this sector here, so still in the defensive sector, allowing people to spawn. They've actually built it back here, which is interesting, allowing people to approach down the road, I guess, but also have the option of coming this way. But this is the gully I was talking about down through here, and this is where we're seeing them approach. Let's try and catch up with some of the action now that the teams are actually meeting each other. Looks like Clink. Okay, so OS Clink, who we saw actually playing the other day for STDB, I think. Facing off here across the road with Mil, Shah, Yarrick. Got the garrison up here still, Mr. Jingle crossing the road. And this is where it comes down to that first-person shooter skill that I was talking about. Can see they've already tried to get control of this building here though, the Axis, so they're on the right track, and that's a powerful position for a machine gun. If I zoom out a little bit here, we should be able to see just sort of what I'm talking about tactically. So you can see that there is explosions over here. That could be, I'm not sure if that's artillery or from the tank. Could be artillery just out on that marker there. Let's try and highlight the vehicles. Okay, so yeah, there's the tank I can see there, and here's the opposite number, as you can see, approaching on the Baker attack marker that just went out. So that's that. There's tank battles across the road there. Captured the house and moved into these areas here now. An important area, and as I said before, this is like a staging area behind where they can kind of push through. They've got some OPs, it looks like, over here where Bofrost Wing are, Hellfire, etc. Good work from the Allies here to get to the road, spread out along it, and keep that front line nice and strong. They could do a better job of capturing the building, because you can see it's actually allowing this whole flank to be opened up here by the Axis, and more importantly almost, it allows the Axis to push down this road. You can see how much priority they've given it by sending their infantry truck right there. There's a why could I not think of the word? Transport truck right there. So okay, is that the one of the enemy tanks in the ditch there? Here's one just here. Get them both highlighted so you can see in red over here by G marker. Very convenient. Thank you, Golf Squad. Taking one in the front there from the 75. Return fire. That's an important miss there, and the Panzer IV goes down, allowing better tank control. They can move now past the point there with the tank, and if Yarrick and these squads down here can capture this building as well, then they'll be in a very good position here, the Allies. As we can see, there's already a garrison really deep over here in C4. That's a classic Housegangster type of movement there. We've already got 3 defensive garrisons up here and 2 attacking ones on the current objective. You see instantly once it's been taken, we've got this garrison up here. I expect to not see too many people spawn here right away. They'll probably try and keep up some pressure here, but you never know. There could be several squads going to be spawning coming down this way to the rear. more supplies dropping already. There's never a moment that this guy has supplies at his advantage and he's not dropping them. That's kind of a lesson for all the like budding commanders out there. You've got the supplies to drop, you may as well drop them. It's not costing you a lot. You can set up plays for the future, help your team out, but do try and get your guys, I think, to drop supplies with their support players in the locations where they actually are already. Okay, so request supply marker going down here from Abusify, who's out here playing Recon. And the axe is being pushed right back to the road now and to Rue de Gambersville. Like I said, they would have these kind of staging areas around here on the markers. You can see golf marker, item marker, dog marker there, and the defend marker on golf. They are being kind of like isolated into those areas, which is good play here from the allies. You can see they've actually pushed through checkpoint and they're now boxing off this area where Morverful, Mo Kushil taking on Harold here in the bushes. Maul goes down, but Harold's still got it all to do. Soxes gets taken out by Big L. Harold knows he's there, he's got the peak. And I've got wall hacks. There it is. Okay, so Harold doing well there with Placheng, another good player who we've seen a lot on Squad Line Battle and elsewhere. Pushing into this area. Marsmick doesn't know they're there, I don't believe. There's no infantry marker, although you could maybe infer it from items infantry marker there. I'm looking now to see more supplies here and here, looking to set up the garrisons. This one here is probably simply to get around here. Look, you can see Housegangster literally is back at their HQ spawn over here with a supply truck. This is what I was talking about at the start. He's going in hard right from the start. You can't, you know, let off with this guy. You can't assume that you know, he's not going to try and dominate the game, because he's really going to every time. Okay, so I see there's a Axis, is that a half track over there, and the Tiger now moving out to the left of the screen. The 75 is kind of uncontested out here, but unless they can get a 76 in, that Tiger's really probably going to win the tank warfare out here. They've not got a 76 that I can see anywhere close to the point, and that could actually come and bite them a little bit. If House and the other you know, forward players, that is a fantastic recon plane there, as you can see. He's tried to obviously just look where they're looking, look at these infantry markers and kind of encompass as many of them as possible, and he's got, what, a tank marker, an infantry, a Gary, another 3 infantry markers and an attack marker all in the one recon plane. So it's a really good recon, hopefully helping the squad out, or the team out. That's a good hit there from the 75. Tiger's now stopped. He's got a bit of a back foot problem, but that was never going to work out for the 75. That's a one shot. So the Tiger injured, and now just rolling back to heal, has been delayed, but probably not long enough for them to get a 76 all the way up to here. So we saw the Tiger fighting in this area in D8, over in those buildings. You can kind of actually see on Golf marker there, which is very helpful. Again, thank you Golf, my man on the ground. So Harold's squad then moving into this area. They've been effective through the ditch where we saw them before, and they are taking that building that we noticed they were in before. They've also captured this house here. As mentioned right at the start, that's a very, very important place for them to be. And yes, there is this PBS squad here, shout out Rhinout, and this light tank out on the flank here to try and maintain what I was talking about earlier, a bit of this front line here. But at the same time, they aren't as wide as the Axis here. Cobra's out in the field. I don't know if he's going to get through as a sniper there. Basti, with the potential obviously to build garrisons as the recon squad leader, you know, could be looking to get even wider and build some garrisons kind of like out. I mean, where are we looking here? We're like looking here, right? So if he can get a garrison anywhere in this square over here, if there's supplies around there or anything, that could be obviously pretty powerful. It's a hard push down through those back gardens for the Axis, but if they can get people through into this area and down the hedge on the other side, and distracted with the kind of the right angle play here, some people attacking from the field here, some people from the orchard, then it does make it really, really hard to defend this point. And especially with the tiger about to move up, I can see it over here, that could be big for them. And they do have this area over here still, so putting a lot of pressure on the defence here at checkpoint, and they are contesting it in fact, so good to see that from them. Housegangster still up here in the enemy HQ spawn, probably got his head buried in the map right now, planning his next big move. But right now they're in a little bit of bother over here. There is as well, just about to get satcheled. Who's a bombing runners there? So this is House's bombing run, he's identified the problem out here on this flank too. And he's trying to take out some of these enemies up here before they can get wide. Not as successful as he might have hoped there though, but this tank has been satcheled, I believe. Bohemian's going to get blown up though any second, I think. Or come into contact with this squad here. He's seen the garrison, surely. Goes down, but he knows where the garrison is. Tell me he satcheled the tank. If he didn't, then Tom Cruise is definitely going to blow him up with something. Nice hit. that's the satchel. How that didn't kill Lupa Chichoto? I'm so sorry, mate. I don't know how that didn't kill him, but it didn't. But the tank is down there now, and there are plenty of defenders moving into the area. They are pushing out into this space here. And importantly for House and the allies here, they've got people inside the hard point nearly. Just looking over Ruder Gambersville now, and Moop is inside. There aren't any OPs up here though. Still just got this garrison out wide. Tank's still marked over here. I'm not sure if that's accurate anymore. Yes, it was. It just went down to the 76, which is over here. Sorry, I missed that. Quite a lot of action, as you can see. I see Lupacito over there again, out on the flank here. Cuff, Scout, Fighter, all pushing into that key area, moving from where they put the garrison down at the building, which has now I think been taken out. Unfortunately still kind of guarded that area, but they're really trying to create this encircling movement, which is why House dropped the bombing run here, because stopping that horseshoe from you know, being set up is really important for them. Looking over this way, there's still tank fire coming out on here. Presumably they know they've blown them up. Let me just check everything's working for you. Looks like we're all good on sound, hopefully. Obviously let me know. It is a 15-minute delay, but let us know if it's not quite working. Okay, so attack-wise seems to have kind of ground to a halt a little bit here for the Allies, which is can be a problem. Like when, you know, if you do play very attackingly and you do end up having to defend, it can kind of end up stalling things a little bit. So good play from the Axis to keep them at bay. You know, they're obviously trying to they were trying to go for the next point there, but kind of despite a bit of a good setup, you know, they've only got at least, you know, they've really only got the one squad, maybe two squads kind of pushing the attack, because everybody else is having to defend here at checkpoint. It's an hour and 12 remaining. The Axis again in control of this key area, this building, managing to do what we were talking about right at the start, and actually maybe they have got a garrison down over there, but they're using these areas here in these buildings to push up, capture this area, move down into the trenches, move up into the bushes here. This orchard here that we were just looking at here is where they're kind of trying to get to with the flank, and you know, they are putting good pressure on. Okay, let's try and catch up with this tank battle occurring here. A little bit difficult to see at the moment. Maybe they're just shooting the building over there. Do they think somebody's up there? Not sure. Falling back here then, the 76 ever so slightly. I think they're just kind of holding that perimeter, which is the right play, you know, moving up to the road to support the light tank, kind of doing a bit of the donkey work, trying to clear some of these infantry out from around the point, and that's a great spot for them to be just there, especially with some infantry support here from Maynard's squad. That's a great shot from Scalp, but he goes down without being able to fully take the thing out. If Maynard can get somebody from his squad, or Reinhardt can get somebody from his squad to help the tank repair, that'll really help them, because they're in a great spot here to kind of push off this attack, help the allies to secure this building, get something down there, you know, block off the approach from these trenches, which is where their Axis are kind of entering from there and over this way. That's a allied satchel going out there on the building. Good play from PBS Reinhardt squad there. Satchel in the building ahead of time so they don't get shot out the windows, securing it. That's very clean stuff there. They're getting good shots on Nuffles out the window. Reinhardt goes down, unfortunately, but Bohemian's still up there, takes out whoever that was that I just missed, getting shot there. Scalp's probably going to go down, yep, on top of the glider. That's a pretty obvious spot to be. And good shots here from the Allies, taking out all of the Axis flank, basically, all at once. Have they overextended, though? They're not inside the point, and there is a contingent of Axis over this way. I'm seeing supplies dropping, but that is friendly or allied supplies. There's not the airhead situation at the moment, but it definitely could happen. Reinhardt's got a good OP out back here, very, very defensive, and an excellent spot, because he's going to be catching the proximity warnings, and the same with the easy OP here. These proximity warnings are going to be showing them whereabouts in these buildings the enemy are. You know, they've got it covered at kind of reasonable intervals, so even if the enemies kind of slip down through this middle area or come down through here and try and get to the point, try and come down the road and get to the point, they're going to get pinged on these OPs over here. And then of course you've got defensive garrison and OPs here, so a good proximity you know, setup there. And you can kind of see it's like in a bit of a circle actually here around the point. They've lost the garrison over this way, or over here, wherever it was. Probably over here where the infantry marker is. We'll go and have a little catch up with what's going on over this way. These flanking squad, Jesus Christ. He's been pushing all game, but not having too much success. I guess Fucksec, who's actually dead right in front of us, must have seen the, or somebody must have been watching the stream or the discussion that I had with No Connection before the game, and they will have heard us say, you know, you've got to really be careful for the wide flanks and whatever, and they're being very careful. Good defending from the Axis. They've pushed well as well onto checkpoint, but just getting moved off at the moment. There's still this kind of threatening flank that's going on here, but it should be pinging, yeah, pinging, that's Reinhardt's OP there, and these two as well. So they're going to know where they are. Tom Cruise has got shots, or is getting shots. Oh, he's getting shot at by Fata. Just killed by ladder lapping. Zippo on the right hand peak. Somebody please let me know in the comments, because I've asked this before but nobody has answered me. What is stronger in Hell Let Loose, right or left hand peak? Because I've literally experimented with both. Somebody told me it was left. It seemed like at one point it was left. Maybe now it's right again, or properly. I'm not sure. Let me know. Okay, so the light tank has kind of successfully moved up through this whole area now, and they're still just firing off from the hip, basically, shooting all these infantry out here. That's a very interesting spot for a Gary. Very, very offensive, but killed almost immediately by artillery there. That was absolutely devastating. That's definitely pinned on the garrison marker there. So Speed, really the only person able to kind of get anywhere close to pushing up at this point, and this is what you're looking to do as as allies defending checkpoint, is whittle down these attacks. You're never going to be able to kill everybody, but the idea is that, you know, if you've got one or two people in the point, by the time anybody manages to filter through from the Axis to get to the point, there's only one or two. You know, it could be a whole squad of them up here, but by the time they get down to the point, you only want it to be one or two, and then they're easy pickings for your defenders. So keeping up that front line, as mentioned before, that's so important on this map. Is this actually a garrison here? No. speed bushwhacking for his life there. I feel like I have deja vu watching this little tank push up here. Didn't they do this once already? Oh, yep, they're going in circles. I love that. What a tactic. So Altair here pushed up into this area, and despite a spawn wave over this way, they are getting a little bit knocked about over here, the Allied defenders, and they could be in trouble if they don't get a good front line back up again. That's what I was talking about before, where it does come down to the kind of discipline and the play style of the players. If they don't get a good front line set up again and secure the proper, you know, the areas here, in checkpoint, in the building, in the trench, out this way by the side of the building, and this long approach here, then they could be in trouble, because there's a very nice wide line there being held by the Axis. Okay, so attacking wise, Jesus Christ, Abusifi's still trying to go for the push, but not really managing to get anywhere at the moment, it would seem. Rudigambersville pretty much uncontested for a while now. And again, it's really only speed in this area sort of pushing on checkpoint. But Hellfire, Kelp, Harold's squad here, they are pushing up. They are making ground into the point, and actually they're behind Big L now, and Shah and this OP, and if they can get shots on them from behind and in front where Knuffles is, I predict this OP is going to go down quite quickly. Let me know if you want me to take off the highlighting. I just think, especially for tanks, like, it does make it a bit easier, because on this stream, you know, we're mostly looking from the sky, looking at the map. Here's the Tiger just coming in this way, so we should see a tank battle imminently. Where is our friendly one? On the garrison, which is right here. Okay. Okay, so set up a gun here. Could be a problem for the 76. The Tiger's set up in this area. Is it a Tiger? Yeah. Close. Right, on the garrison though. Okay, bombing run coming in at any second. Here it is. That's the Axis bombing run right on the point, trying to clear them out. No garrison on the point, so nothing goes down in that regard. And actually not enough Axis really close to make a proper effort on that. But they might just have the strength of numbers to win out in this area, and then it's going to be all on the defenders to get back and start their defence again, effectively pushing up from the road again. I think maybe I got ADHD and missed the 76 battle. Oh no, it is still there, they just can't see each other. Must know he's there though. This is friendly supplies coming down just next to us. Double check for Axis supplies as well while we're at it. The garrison hot here. They're really struggling to attack Rudigambersville. Great smokes here from the artillery. This is Axis artillery using smoke shells to help their squads push up. And this is a very nice infantry push here. This is where, you know, I was talking about before the game. It's all very well having your mind, you know, push forward right up to the next points and whatever, but unless the defense, you know, can be effective, then you can get in trouble when with a nice coordinated push like this happens against you. It's a little bit funneled here for the Germans. They could get held up fairly easily by the Allies in these back garden areas. They could do with a few more smokes a little bit forward in the back garden of this first house, and even on the road, to be honest, because they are getting whittled down here. It's quite easy for the Allies to kind of hold some positions here, but I still see more smokes coming out, and actually I think the Allies have realised that they do need some help over here. I see this is Axis supplies dropping here, and it's also an Axis airhead at the same time, so that could be a little bait and switch going on there. Trying to drop the supplies is a bit of a distraction, but Big L is not distracted. He ain't stupid. He's going straight for the airhead, but that does mean that at least one squad here, or if not two, we've got Yarrick and Big L, and possibly Rhinout as well, are kind of all coalescing in this area. There isn't that isn't right here where they need to be, right? So see, love artillery marker back there, but actually they could do with moving that up because the Axis have taken this building now. Placheng almost got set up in this building, but not quite. Good smokes again. So this is where they're using the smokes, pushing the smoke line basically towards the point, getting this building cleared out. Now they're using smokes literally on the point as well. So this is really, really great play from the Axis. Very coordinated, very nice stuff. Good coordination between the artillery squads back here and the squad leaders, the infantry squad leaders. They've taken that whole side of the road now. Now here come the HE shells right near the garrison there. This is going to be very difficult now to defend. They're going to need to get their tank probably to help, although the tank's pretty... I was going to say pretty busy, but looks like he's actually taking care of pretty much everyone. Sorry, I was looking at the bullet holes there in the wall. Weird. They're like through the poster because it didn't render. That's a good spot for them to be spawning in back there. Nice and close. Got some decent cover. Unfortunately, it's been marked by this love artillery marker, so that's a good marker from them. But the checkpoint is completely empty now. Big L, though, being an absolute chad. Got one. Werner Voss, massive shout out to Werner Voss for arranging so much of the squad line battle today and always. Big L goes down to Demos, or Demos. The Lux absolutely letting go over there. Allied tank down, it looks like. Not sure who shot that, but... Oh no, it's just artillery. But the tank is definitely smoked. Definitely very smoked there. Are they fighting against another tank? Hard to see. There is a tank pushing in here, which is definitely a boon for the Axis. Only a Lux, but that's probably the worst type of tank if you're an infantryman. Great shot there though from Make. Right the way across the field. Gets one tap on him. He's reloading now. The tank's kind of panicking. If he can get another great shot. What a fantastic shot from Make. Yusufai Maynard still pushing up, and the friendly airhead now coming down up here. I'm not sure if Fuxek's going to see it or not. Decent defending back here, but Rhinout squad are getting a bit distracted by Basti and the recons. You know, they could be better served maybe being actually in the point, particularly now that the Axis supplies have been taken out, the Axis airhead's been taken out. Let's have a little look over here at the Allied airhead. It looks like maybe it hasn't been spotted, which is massive for them, because that's how close that is to Rudigambersville, and there's nobody there. There's literally nobody there. So if they can get a couple of squads in right now, get a garrison built in that farm area, or even a little bit further pushed up, although perhaps these guys did see it. Yeah, Hellfire and Anonym actually did see it. They are running for it now, so this could come down to a matter of timing. Sirius as well falling back. Possibly putting out a marker. We can't see that from our side. Okay, they're in. They need to expect that it's been spotted. Hellfire with the kill down the road. This is big fights here. Vicox goes down. Big L can't get distracted. Needs to get both kills here. He's inside the building. No, he's not. Maybe he is. He's in the fence. I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. I think it's because of the highlighting. But Hellfire here on the airhead, able to take it down. That's where it comes down to the individual skill of the players. Hellfire getting 3 kills there, I believe. You know, that's really valuable for any team. Okay, so back over at centre point then here. Allied 75 on the road. Still got a 76 up here? No, not anymore. Just the 75 pushed over. Recon planes identified a bunch of these enemies. I'm not sure they were struggling to identify where they were before. I mean, there's a lot of infantry markers here already. It's just a case of clearing them out at this point. Maynard squad up here stopped on the attack, as has Big L. Come back to either start a flank again or just kind of clear out these wide areas. Not that there's too many people there at the moment, but a good portion of the Allied team is in this house, it looks like. And they're having a pitched battle across the back garden here. Again, using the smokes to push up. It is going to cost them a lot of munitions, though, to be firing this many smokes, because they're not cheap. For good reason, because they're very powerful. Okay, so just under an hour, excuse me, remaining. 56 minutes on the clock, or 55 minutes. Probably not what Housegangster would have wanted. I mean, you know, there's the Observe, there's the Forward Gary. I think it's clear with the half track up in A7 what he's going for, but it's just not working out at the moment. And whether that's a case of you know, anything that the commander can do, or if it just comes down to like gunfights, I think that's debatable. They do need to consolidate again a little bit across the line, but the Axis are doing a great job of coming across this whole field. You know, they set that gun up over there. I think it's gone now, maybe. It's been taken out now, but like you know, they're doing a good job of just stretching the front line out, the Axis here. However, this house is now under control from these lot who've satisfied themselves that they've cleared out this area, which is the right thing to do. And now they're kind of moving up. Maynard squad over here. I see Mulverful over there. I'm sure it's not Mulver. There's another bit on the end of Mulverful's name. I know there is. Mulverfelchen. Sorry, Rod. It's not Mulverfen. What am I talking about? Let's have a look at some of these scores while we're at it. So tank doing what they're supposed to do here, but some of the other standouts, we saw Make's amazing shot on that tank across the field. Blade here, or Blatdy, doing good work as well. Yep, solid stuff from tank squads. And all round just decent play from everyone really. Moop has been getting some kills there with the long range rifle, which is good. Axis supplies falling now. You can see the garrison markers kind of been placed as like a notional. This is like a potential garrison type of thing. This right here is Housegangster special. It's just ready there waiting for something. I wouldn't like to guess exactly what, but there's about 4 steps planned out ahead probably. Kushal with 2 important kills there, cleaning out that building and allowing Marsmick to cross the road as well. 76 now pushing up in front of us on the road from left to right, and another one out in the field over here by Murga. Definitely taking more control of that area again now, and also being able to push through these buildings. You've got an SDDP player over here, again with a name that's too long for me to get right straight away. Ducentribe, shout out to you, pushing out over here on the flank. But he is just an assault, you know, that's not such a big deal for the allies there. They've done a good job of clearing the Axis in these kind of key areas. Kelt is at the house there and probably placing his supplies, I'd imagine. If not right now, then probably waiting for them to come back and then placing the supplies. He might... Ooh, excuse me, might get the kill on Drebin out the window here. He's looking out of windows. I wonder if he'll look out of this window here. Once we hear a machine gun fire, he might. He's just waiting to get his supplies back, probably, so he can place them ready for a garrison in this key area. 76 falling back to the road, just trying to set up that defensive line. I haven't seen any more tanks moving up just yet, but we've got Housegangster moving in the other half track, trying to get out and wide. Still got a supply truck over here with Caro in it. I'm not sure where he's going, what the plan is quite with that. Maybe to meet up with House, drop some supplies somewhere for a new garrison. But they're still struggling a little bit. Harold, again, playing really well here, getting pushed up. Altair and Nuffles, the core squad here, they're doing really well at kind of keeping the pressure up over here at checkpoint. This squad over here, who's the squad leader? Pegman. Sorry. Out here as well, keeping that wide flank. Really, really important. Kelt still needs to get his supplies down, I think. Needs somebody to meet him as well. Could this be a bombing run plane that I hear coming over? Press the wrong button. Yes, it is a bombing run. The Axis bombing run straight on checkpoint. Somehow killed this chap here. Or maybe that was Dusen. Oh, I've got it wrong again. Dusen. Get a shorter name. What can I say? This is good stuff from him though. Sees the garrison. Gets more Verfelchen. By getting it wrong again. Maul. But just missed time for the spawn wave there. Ooh, gets 2 good kills. And the nade, shot caller though, who's played very well today, getting a nice shot. That was a bit risky there. They've probably got their garrison marked, the allies there, but there's nobody anymore in that area to cause any problems. Looking up in B5 then, at the half track and the supply truck, as I said, maybe meeting up, and it looks like they are. There's also supplies coming down here in C7. Just to the north of route, we can see the plane flying over now. Supplies coming down. This map very open, of course, not like one of the wooded maps. It's quite easy to see where supplies come down, so they don't quite have the same power. Airheads don't quite have the same power. Obviously the potential is there, but like it's a lot easier to see them than if you're dropping them on Hill 400 or some places in Hurtgen. So oftentimes they can make a good distraction actually. You know, if you can manage to get a garrison up, a good attacking garrison, and then drop your airhead like in the opposite direction from the point kind of thing and draw some enemies away, then that can be really quite useful. They've split up now. Caro pushing up to place more supplies. Housegangster still right the way back here. I'm so curious to see what's going on with this half track here. But right now I can't take my eyes off of checkpoint because it's so to and fro here with Nuffles and the core squad here pushing up into the building on the other side with only Big L and Yarrick on this side of the road to defend against them. The garrison is still up, so people can still spawn. We see just here in the middle of the screen. Allies can still spawn in there, and they do have this back garrison and easy OP, but they're losing checkpoint now. The reinforce is up, as you can see on the map here. House has deployed a reinforce ability to prevent or to kind of beef up the capture power of any of his players who are in the hard cap. Bohemian's got a good angle here as well out of the window. Hopefully for them managing to hold off this attack across the road. They have kind of taken it back. It was a soft cap basically. But again, Ruder Gambersville fairly unchallenged. Serious, who I presume has been doing a fantastic job this whole time, considering that the attacks have been pretty unsuccessful. They're all moving this way towards the airhead again. Looks like CD spawning on it here. I'm interested to see if this is like a tactic to draw people away from the garrison, because this is strong now. House has managed to get up a good attacking kind of formation here. But it looks like, defenders are well spread out, and there is a lot of open ground here. This is a field of wheat. It's hard to see, but, Moop isn't going to be able to be seen immediately. But these supplies and the garrison that's by them is definitely threatened here by these players, and unfortunately for the Allies, they just haven't committed. They kind of spread themselves a little bit too thin on the old the garrisons kind of thing on these attacking points, and they're able to get taken out fairly easily. Doctor Squad doing a good job here of moving up. Saw them play on Sunday. Bite Force Doctor played very well for STDB against What the Hell. Playing with STDB over here, also on defence, doing a great job of taking out, it looks like House's half track over here. This garrison is definitely hot, and the airhead is no longer with us either. Let me ping this just so we can definitely see it. Okay, so this is where we're looking for the garrison then. So it's quite well hidden, but it is being pinged at the moment by Sirius, who is within 100 meters, stopping anybody from spawning on it. Housegangster did survive, although his half-track didn't, and he's kind of hanging back, probably trying to think what on earth to do next against such strong defence. Probably also pretty worried about the situation over here, because again, using smokes effectively to push up across the road and into checkpoint. Fox are doing a great job here as commander, coordinating all this. Presume it is him. I see him moving up on the attack as well. Coordinating this kind of like solid grinding type of attack. Using what he's got to his advantage, so the smokes and stuff. Werner Voss out here in the ditch, in a great spot, looking to get a flank on the garrison over here. The smoke's actually out on the garrison. I'm not sure if that's Werner's smoke grenades, it looks like. Or somebody's smoke grenades. It's not Werner's, he's a AT. But Harold now, Pegeman moving up. Werner's basically on the garrison. Takes out Terminator Make. Marsmick knows he's there, but he's not going to be quick enough. He needs to push. Gets killed by artillery. The garrison's definitely down. Good job, Werner Voss, there for the Axis. And that's really a big problem for the Allies here. This is where it comes down to as well, them having the correct formation of defensive garrisons. And you can see they've lost their one in the cemetery. They don't have anything behind. If House is too concentrated on the attack, it could be a real problem for them here. You can see that he's thinking now, Jesus Christ, oh my Jesus Christ, I could actually get into the point for once. Well, that's probably because there's nobody there, because they full sent it here, the Axis. They're completely committing everything to this attack, and for good reason. They've got their supplies coming down in the point. They've got several squad leaders, Harold, Pageman, Nuffles, all here, pushed right up into the centre of checkpoint. They've got control of this building. Doctors who are on defence here, Doctor Squad, the SCDB guys, they're locking down this area as well, buying time and space for the people in this house to set up. This lot out on the wing doing a great job of now switching to this side. We've seen Werner, who just took out the garrison back here, who's now switched to the other side to hold off these STDB players. It's looking pretty bad here for the Allies. Are these genuinely tank markers? Okay, so we're seeing the tank like traverse the back line, which is not at all good to see for the Allies. They've kind of they've messed that up a little bit. The tankers here allowing that to happen. Sirius actually in cemetery already, and this is where, in any second, when they do lose this point, which they inevitably will. Yep, there it goes. Okay, and this is where Sirius now comes into play. Have they managed to get their supplies down here ahead of time? Quite possibly. I've seen them speculatively dropping supplies all game, but I didn't see if they've managed to get some down in here exactly. I believe that's a manpower node. Very random to see in this current iteration of the game. CD, Yarrick, Big L all know what they have to do over here and get back as quickly as possible, but they're caught out in the open. If Serious can get up, get a couple of kills, Hellfire, who you don't want to be coming up against, as we've seen, is now pushed into that area. They've even got a Panzer IV that's moving into the point. This is looking ugly for the Allies. They're still caught way out of position here in checkpoint. They've got nothing in the back lines. If they get pushed to Rousseau de Ferme, you can see House has put up a I'd like to build a garrison here, please, kind of marker, but until somebody actually gets back there and builds it, Caro's going, but there's nothing there right now, nothing there yet. Over here at Cemetery, it's looking terrible for the Allies, and this is a notoriously bad setup for the Allies, because of what we were talking about earlier, where through this area, you know, unless they've got good spawns and stuff over here, through this area, if the Axis can get through, they've got cover right the way there, and the Allies from checkpoint have to just run across this open field. It's hideous. It's not a good place to be caught out of position, and they've been caught out of position big time here, the Allies. Yes, they are managing to filter back, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As we see, they're slightly taking back the checkpoint, but only because, again, the Axis have committed to this push. They need to get a lot of the players who we can see over here in this area ahead of us, Fata, all that. If they can get up into this sector, it's all over here for the Allies, I think. Being a bit slow at the moment and getting caught up in some gunfights with, it looks like Raslan, maybe Shot Caller out there. Okay, holding it now. No, it's going to go. Okay, definitely gone this one again. Still caught out of position. This is where House's tactics can, you know, run into difficulties. When you're that attacking, you can definitely be caught out of position. They still haven't managed to get this garrison down. What on earth's happening here? Somebody's been killed out here. Great kill from Lucan. Great kill to take out, I guess it's Lucan. I don't even understand what I'm seeing here. Did he just redeploy without building the garrison? That's insane. They need to get the garrison down like yesterday. That's not a good spot to be in. They do have a garrison back here, so they can't be spawn blocked when the HQ gets taken. But a good airhead or something here, it could be all she wrote for the Allies. We've seen a Housegangster tactic before, playing this map the other way, where right at the beginning of the game, he's dropped supplies up here, in these areas, so he can instantly build a garrison as soon as the point gets taken. Not sure that's happened this time. But it's bad news here for the Allies. They've got it all to do. Garrison marker out here. I don't know if that's an accurate garrison marker or just a speculative one. Pretty speculative, I believe. Lucan getting shot there, but not dying, apparently. Deucin versus White Death out on the flank. Look forward to seeing PHX and STDB in the qualifier stage of the upcoming seasonal. Hopefully we'll get some streams of that on the channel, so do come say hi, check those out when they happen. Hello to all the people in the chat. I can only just see you for the first time. Hey Schmitz, nice to see you. Left peak, right peak, any peak, no peak. Love that. So yeah, left peak's all powerful, right peak is less powerful, any peak is something, and if you just hide in a bush then you're not helping. I love that. I love shooting at those legs. Yes. Hi Torfisk, nice to see you, buddy. Okay, so good spot here for Basti to be in. If they can get some supplies here, this is a powerful garrison spot here for them. We're looking in these buildings just here. they've got garrisons up now. They still need to get another one up here. Looks like Yarrick is just building it. That's right. So now you can see the triangle formation of garrisons. They've got this kind of square type shape, or like, you know, a sort of 4 outpost shape around the point as a proximity. So they've set up correctly for the defense. They just need to make sure they don't lose too many people out of that area, or lose everybody out of that area, and allow anybody to, you know, the Axis to move in. But the Axis a little bit probably surprised at their success here. They're not in the best formation, the best shape. They don't have an amazing kind of front line going on at the moment, although it's quite deep. So if we kind of look from DC Wing all the way back to like Cobra, Bite Force, Plancheng over there, like that's quite a long, that's like 100 meters, 150 meters deep, this kind of this moving group of German infantry here, and that makes it hard, very, very hard to get anybody through, because, you know, you see one of them, you take a shot, one of them sees you and kills you straight back, kind of thing. So it's a good sort of attacking, sort of patrolling, scouting type of formation there. Not ideal for when you get to the final push, but great for moving across these kind of areas like this, making it hard to defend against. The way to defend is mainly to sit and wait for them to come to you, and then have somebody else flanking around the back and shooting them in the back, start at the back, shoot them in the back, push, like crush them basically, like between the place that you're hard defending and, you know, the area where they're coming from. Okay, so garrison markers over here, I'm not sure if they are accurate, those Garys, but I think it's fair to say that they've got probably a decent spawn set up by now. Cemetery's getting pushed by the Allies pretty hard over here and from the right direction, so they might be able to do something here. I see quite a lot of Axis over here at the church, so they're slightly out of position. You can see the church here not actually in any it's not in a sector that they'd be defending, like from the cemetery, so they might not have a garrison around cemetery if they're having to spawn all the way back there, which is great for the Allies. Big L now and Jesus Christ moving into the cemetery. Jesus coming up against this whole squad who've just spawned in. Doctor, who's been doing a great job of defending. They both basically go down to like one bullet practically. Morverfelschen against Deucen. The two guys we literally can't pronounce the names of had a fight. One of them won. That's what happened there. Moop a bit out of position here with the recon. Let's see the 360 no scope. Deucen going down to Clink instead. Okay, so here come the defenders then with Plancheng squad. Wolfie, shout out to Wolfie, who had him on the stream before, WD44. They're moving up here in defence. Big Al, Marsmick, they've not got enough of their guys around them to be making a big difference here, and you've got more German supplies dropping. You know, we can tell from that, I think, that they don't have a garrison super close to the point. They've obviously got one over here somewhere and one back at the church, but they're trying to get that kind of defensive triangle going on again. This is getting pushed pretty hard now over at Ruto de Ferme, and I do want to go and have a look at it, because, you know, I'm concerned here a little bit for the Allies that, you know, unless they concentrate properly on the defence and keep people in defence, you know, it could start going wrong for them quite quickly, and fairly catastrophically if it does. It looks like they're okay at the moment though, but I've got my eye on Harold over here. He's played really, really well. Could be a candidate for man of the match today. We'll see. Who else have I been looking at? On the Ally side, I think we've got to say that these PBS guys, this squad here, have done a pretty good job, like grinding it out in defence, riding out squad. I think we've seen a lot of Yarrick on both attack and defence. We've seen a lot of Maynard on attack and defence, but I'm not sure that there's been like a huge standout player. Big L squad, Morverfelchen. Perhaps we've seen, you know, a lot of action. He's getting into a lot of spots, but some of them not the best spots, obviously. Jesus Christ as well, and his squad really, really, really pushing. trying everything they can, but just not being able to pull it off here. And the Axis, again, winning the defense. They got a lot of good. Was that a shitty red Gary I saw in D-Lights? Oh, yeah. There's a lot of red dots in this kind of area still, and it's causing problems for the Allies because they're having to just stay spread out here, commit a lot of people to this area. You know, if we're looking at the map here, they've got players right down H column the whole way. Well, only from here to here are they actually capping anything or being effective, and everybody in this sector is simply there because they have to be, or because they're trying to flank, but they're not defending, they're not providing cap power on the attacking sector. They're literally out of the game for the time being until they can make something happen over there. And that's half the game here. You know, if you can keep the enemy players in a spot where they're not providing capping power, where they're not defending, then it allows you space to move in. Look at the number of red dots we've got over here in this these buildings. They know the importance of this area for defending and attacking the cemetery here. You know, that approach through the building so powerful, and they know that. So they've got all of these players all around this area to try and fend off this attack out by Jesus Christ and his squad out on the right hand side as we're looking at it. See the checkpoint way over in the distance there. I think the Allies have fond memories of checkpoint at this point. Seems like they're not being able to even push back on the cemetery at the moment. Just look at this defense. So many reds in there right now. They are capping the cemetery somehow here. I'm not sure that it's going to last though. They're certainly not 3-1 in the sector. The main problem here actually for the Axis, as you can see, is that the sector is these 4 squares, but maybe they've got some people who are like actually just out of the sector, so they're not quite capping, but it looks like most of them are inside. So yeah, we're seeing it getting contested now and defended. It's touch and go, but I think they're going to defend it, to be honest. I just don't see, you know, there's not the coordination just kind of isn't quite there for the Allies here. They've got individual players running in, getting killed, instead of being all pushing together. Against this kind of like solid defense, you really need to be ever so coordinated and make sure that everyone's pushing at once and with the smokes and to the right positions, etc. Because otherwise it's like a shooting gallery. You know, you just get mown down. You're not putting the pressure on enough. You know, with this, like here, you've got 2 Allied players versus 4, 5 Axis. If you just wait for 2 or 3 more people to arrive, then it's even numbers, and you stand a much better chance of success. Success. Can't even talk. I feel like Morverfeldchen's really pushing for this man of the match accolade. He's going to get flanked to his rear. Oh my god, does he know? Wing just runs straight past Felchen. He's now got shots on Scalp, surely. Kills the machine gunner. Commander's down. Wing takes out Raslan, but Felchen takes out Serious. This is the best play so far from this attack. Just needs to find their garrison, and he can hear it. Surely he can hear it. Can't quite get on it yet. Kills Hellfire. Speeds across the road. Must be able to see that it's been taken. Raslan needs to get into the road. He's looking the wrong way. But speed crosses. Okay, so the garrison's down. That's what they needed. I can't even say it. Morverfeldchen goes down in the field. And then just making weird noises. Raslan's kind of stuck in this bush, getting a bit surrounded. Gets a kill Doesn't get the kill on Anonym. I don't understand what I'm seeing here. Still not able to capitalise on that though. You know, they're just not quite in the sector. They're not quite pushing up together. They're not quite like, you know, this area here. They had that then. If they could have got enough people across the road, but it just is how it is sometimes, you know. But they are doing something here more effective than they were before on attack, the Allies. And hopefully we get back to at least see some fighting over the middle point again. I'm not a huge fan of Cemetery. It's pretty unbalanced, I think, and just lots of like long range kills across the field, so not even that exciting to look at. Obviously with good use of bombing run, good use of artillery, good use of smokes, it can be a masterclass in seeing people attack it or defend it. But this game right now, I'd rather not see them grind over Cemetery. I want to see Cemetery get taken and us get back to checkpoint and have some more fights there, or Rousseau have a really good push on it from the Axis, because it's a very, very vulnerable point, and it's always good to see how people attack it, because there's quite a number of different ways to do it. Still concentrating though mostly on defence here, the Axis, and you know, they can. Right now, you know, they are defending the Cemetery, and it's 25 minutes left in the game. They're comfortable. If they just defend, they're comfortable. They've got a 76 behind them, which is slightly uncomfortable probably for them. But again, it's not supported by infantry. It's kind of too far out there. It's very, very vulnerable. Okay, might have some success out there, get a few infantry kills, might even see the rear of a tank if they're lucky. I see, what's that, a Lux over there, something pushing up the road. But I think they're going to struggle to be like truly as effective as a 76 can be. Amazing artillery hit there. I think he just got headshot. Don't know how these guys are alive. Oh, they're the other side of the building. Excuse me for the motion sickness. They need to get a shell upstairs or something. There it is. Is the OP down now? Yes, I think it might be. No, it isn't. It's still here underneath. The tank now, and this is where the problem comes in. Out of position. Scalp. Jingle's dead, but still the tank has managed to kill some infantry, but it's not taken out the OP, and it's just going to get shot out here and waste a 76 for nothing really, like for very little gain. Okay, it's kind of distracted them a bit and pushed them off the point a little bit, but they're still very much in control here, the Axis, and it's the 76 that's just been lost. Yes, it's contested. I just don't see the Allies taking this right now, though. I don't see how they can. Looking at the balance actually on the point, and looking at where, you know, this is the shape of the cemetery that we're seeing below us, with the sort of pillar thing in the middle, the obelisk in the middle. You can see that the circle only just extends to the edge of the field here, like right where the edge of that smoke is closest to us. Not here, where Make is. Not over here. You know, they've got to get in that middle, and they're not going to be able to do that all the time that they've got enemies filtering through here. They've still got this spawn over here in this barn. They've still got a spawn over here. They've still got a spawn over here. It's just not going to happen for the Allies in this way. They need to be much more coordinated. What's this now? Half track. Who we see in Housegangster. Way too aggressive in my opinion with the half track there. But that's the style. Aggression über alles, and probably going to screw up here, get himself killed. Literally got Anonym running at him immediately. Pushed way too much, way too alone, and the half track's going to go down here. He's got literally a whole squad on him. He's dead. Half track's destroyed. It's got the satchel on it. Axis supply is now down, and they've placed a garrison exactly where House was trying to build his garrison. So kind of too aggressive there, really. You know, they need the garrisons like around this area. They could, the half track doesn't get proxied in the same way as a garrison does, so it could have been here where Hennis, where Chips, where Guitarist, Maynard, you know, like in these areas here, or even further back, kind of, okay, it could have just been hit by this bombing run if it had been part back here, but somewhere where Maynard is right now, you know, aggressive, but like realistic. You know, at the end of the day, there's nobody out here for a reason. There's no blues out here for a reason. They're all dead. Nobody can get there. So by kind of driving into that area or dropping supplies into that area or whatever, I feel like you're just asking them to get destroyed, probably. So Cemetery back in the comfortable possession of the Axis here, and this is where we could see them start to set up their own counter-attack after that sort of like little failed attack there. Shah, the only man in the point here at Rousseau de Ferme. I don't see any reds in the immediate vicinity, but they could easily drop something back here. We've got Basti on a supply truck, and here comes Basti for the win. His OP's up. Is he going to get the garrison up? Has he even got supplies in the truck? That would be a bit unfortunate for them if there's no supplies in the truck and he's managed to get it all the way up here. Because if they build a garrison right at here where the truck is, the allies right now, I mean, they're all over the place. They'd get destroyed. Looks like maybe he's going to go for the manpower node instead, which is... Nope. He's going for the defensive Gary, so smart play here from Basti. Found the garrison. Chucked a grenade just before to make sure to try and clear it as he's running over to it. Now it's going to take him... oh no, because we're in the first sector, so very quick to take it down. CD's seen that he's taken it down, but with a machine gun he's not in the best position to be the only guy here. Basti doesn't have a satchel, giving the recon the squad leader a satchel. My mind would be awesome, but also hugely OP. Cobra and Lucan just messing up the artillery guys over here. But Basti's now concentrating on these nodes. Slightly unusual. I can't believe that this doesn't have supplies in it. If that literally doesn't have supplies in it, then yeah, I mean that's a big boo-boo, because that could be huge for them. Showed the leaderboard for a moment. Oh yeah, I'm really sorry. It is 15 minutes. Okay, so House pretty unsuccessful with his bombing runs. Good tank squad here with a lot of points. Abusify and DP getting a lot of kills on the artillery, I'm guessing. Big L, we've seen absolutely smashing it all game, and Marsmick. Yarrick squad as well, we've seen right up in the mix. Maynard as well, we've seen Make, we've seen Jesus Christ and his whole squad, Florian and Blade doing a smashing job. Offenman, Daddy Hoopy in the tank, Black Shooter. Rhineout squad that we saw in defence really trying their heart out. Ryback, I didn't even see that he was in the game before, but we can see that they've been split off into individual squads. It's like speculative, I guess, like different people would like join on them. On the other team, I will kind of just scroll back through it so you can see. Just pause the stream if you want to see it. Obviously I can't see what positions they're in, but we'll have a look at the end. But I can see some really good scores up on there. Legend Sniper I just saw with a really great score. So the garrison is down again, back over here. Yep, but Basti is again proxying it, it looks like. It's not just proxied, it's down. Maybe it was Cobra who got it down, not sure. But he's got that node down, he's going for the other node now. Still can't believe they can't get a garrison up back here, because that would win the game for them. But at the moment they're still winning. It's 18 minutes on the clock. Allies not doing much over here. Okay, they've been capping it and not capping it, capping it and not capping it, but you know, as we've seen the whole time, without control of those key areas, without actually getting inside the cemetery, pushing the Axis off it, there's not a lot they can really do. They haven't been able to use smokes effectively to block out areas and allow them to move up, because they've been absolutely smashed and hammered by the recon squad that we can see over here. Luke and Vale, Ryback's down again, Shithead down. Not able to be effective on artillery at all, and they're paying the price for it. Maybe sending some more people back to help the artillery could be a good move, but I feel like that's probably way too of a defensive strategy for what we're going to be seeing here. House again trying to, I guess, get Gary's down like around and kind of as deep as possible, still concentrating on encircling the point here. Garrison not effective. It's literally getting overrun, I think. It's here. Yeah, it's in that bush there. So Hellfire and Odip almost on it. Anonym Bite Force, who we seen play well the other day, going down to Maul. I think this is my man of the match right now for the allies. I'll let Known Connection decide for the other team. Although I feel like Doctor has played really, really well. Plancheg's played really well. We've seen Harold right up in the mix a lot. We've seen Werner Voss, who's been absolutely epic for them. Him taking down that garrison over here was huge over at Checkpoint. That was what started this whole thing and allowed them to get the domino effect started, start snowballing. But I'll be interested to talk to Known Connection after the game. Hopefully we're going to get both commanders in. I'd love to speak to House after this. Hello Loose Italy, by the way. Hi Struz. Nice to see you. You guys got players in this week. I know HLL Italia plays quite a lot. Not on this server, it looks like. There's some on server 1. Looks like on the Allies, so shout out to them. Make sure you come check out the all of the games today are going to be streamed from multiple perspectives, so come check out all the different streamers. Not necessarily me, but like the other guys, they're very like professional. Make sure you show them some love, drop them a follow. I think they probably do like subs and everything. Obviously I'm not involved in any of that, so if you're going to sub to me, sub to Known Connection or one of the other guys. Or just, in fact, don't sub. What am I talking about? Don't sub to anyone. Just give tips. Just give tips. Straight on PayPal or whatever. There's no reason why Jeff Bezos needs to take a cut of that. I've seen the effort that these streamers are putting in for this game, and Jeff ain't doing anything. So screw him, right? Okay, so they have got a cap going on here. They've sort of harnessed the sense of urgency here. Wing's in a good spot, but Big L might take him out here. He's got his back to him. He's going to get shot. Oh my god. Worst guitarist, surely. No, worst guitarist down. Zippo's down. Florian gets Wing, but good play there from Wing. 2-1, and that's allowing his players to help to move up here. But Make and Drebin and that lot over there, they have got to the buildings now. We are seeing allies at the cemetery for the first time in a long time, which is big for them. They need to consolidate here, allow their players to move up. But again, that's the difference. That's the difference. When you have your artillery out of action and the enemy's artillery is in action, it's so hard. It's so hard to play infantry. You're so vulnerable. And strategically vulnerable from the smokes. As we saw earlier, fantastic smoke play from the Axis over on Checkpoint. Harold, Werner Voss, you can see on the left-hand side spawning in at that garrison over there. They're going to get the pinch on Raslan, Mulverfelchen. They need to realise. I don't see any infantry markers over this way. I notice a tank coming in here, though, Tiger. But they need to realise that there's infantry over here. Moop's down, Mulverfelchen next to somebody at the back there who's going to get shot. Cemetery, it has been captured, though. This is German supplies coming down here, but they got to stay with enough players here to prevent them from coming back. So I don't want to ping it because I don't want to accidentally give it away to my friendly team. But here, oh thanks Baker, over here on Baker Mark, that's basically where that garrison was. So that will have been lost now because they've lost a sector. But there could be another one over here on King Marker, which we can see just over here. It might still just be this OP. I think it's literally this same OP that's been here the whole time. It's attracting so much attention. They think it's a garrison. That I think that shows how good this cult squad is. Placheng squad over here, where they're spawning in and seeming like they've got the power of a whole garrison. They need to consolidate the cemetery, clear that building out, for goodness sake, of that OP, because it's been an absolute nightmare for them the whole time. Just some artillery there would be amazing, but they're probably still getting camped. Let's go and have a quick look, see how they're getting on. They've been so camped, they've literally given up now. Not good for the Allies. Is this a bombing run that I hear coming in? Probably. Yes, it is. That's big. 3 kills right into the point, allowing the entry from that end. They're still not doing enough up this end, the Allies, to hold it. I'm sure they're probably going for some like crazy push as well. I see a house out in the half track, but it's so blooming slow. It's going to take him forever to get anywhere near checkpoint, and by that time he's probably going to get shot by a tank. You really need the half track to be in position like ahead of time. It's one of those things that you can kind of plan with, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's good for this purpose, but we'll see. And I think that's the purpose of House's tactics probably all around in this game, is experimenting with different stuff. You know, especially ahead of the seasonal, he's going to be trying to look to understand what can happen with the half tracks and etc. You know, see if he can come up with anything novel. Still not a great spot here for the cemetery to be in. You know, Rhineout's squad and PBS guys have done a good job of staying in defence, but I do worry that against Werner Voss, Harold, Vale over here, like, have they got the shooters to stand up against these core players, against this cult squad who are still spawning in over here? We've seen Speed play well in the game as well. They've got Werner. They need to get Harold and get his OP as well. Worst guitarist is down though. Haynes is down in the field. Harold moving up. Bohemian knows he's there somewhere. He heard the shot, gets the kill. That's good for them. They need to now push quickly into that area, but they're the only ones here. They're literally the only ones here, so they can't push into that area. They have to fall back to the checkpoint because SCDB Penny is running up. Vale takes down Drebin and is now the only person inside the point. The only people within half a mile of the point are Red. Or this PBS squad, who are literally having to do the entire job of the defence by themselves, which is not the way it should be. Penny now being able to freely move into the cemetery. Enemy squad leaders is probably not what you want in your hard cap, I would say, but there he is. This is a recon. They're full committing to the attack on checkpoint, but it's going to be a cap raise, and it's not going to work out well for them unless they drop the reinforce right this second. It's not going to go well because they are massively outnumbered on their own point here, and the cap started here, so even if they start capping it now, which they're not because they're still coming up against resistance over at checkpoint, against this cult squad, against a fantastic defense layout here. As you can see, they've got Hellfire right out on the wing. They've got this whole cult squad over here. You know, they're getting held up basically over at checkpoint. They're not being able to do it, and they're in a cap race practically over here at cemetery. PBS's squad doing a great job of kind of getting back to the cemetery now. They've recognised the need to get back there, and they have managed to push up to the wall, which is good. They're in a pitch fight now across the cemetery with Dust and was that Penny who just went down there. But this is bad, you know. Squad leader, good players, only one defensive squad. Okay, Maynard's here too, but where's his squad? Something's being dropped. German supplies over there. Allied supplies in this building just here. bad times for the Allies here at Cemetery, and also it looks like over a checkpoint. Again, not being able to do anything decisive over there. Basti again on the artillery, literally camping it out, hidden by the friendly walls and defences. They need probably to help out their artillerymen over there, because without them, like, look what's happening. This OP is probably getting camped right now, or almost. They know where it is, certainly, the Axis. Not a good spot for them. It's the cute word form for mole. Okay. Moleverfelchen. So can I just say mole? Does that work as a shortened version? Yeah, Morv MVP. That's what I think. That's what I think for the Allies here. 100%. He's been in the mix the entire game. But my hat has to get taken off to this PBS squad as well. Like, squad of the game. I mean, you know, they've tried so hard out here. They've just been grinding on all these defensive points. They've been on cruddy defensive duty the whole time, and they put the work in. They really have. Cemetery's kind of getting surrounded, though, by these SCDB players. I can see spawning in on Penny's OP across the other side of the cemetery there, though. And still not a lot happening over at checkpoint. They've got the right idea now, though, the Allies, excuse me. They've captured the building that is so important. Big Al Mole inside the point. Doctor, who we've seen play well, is out wide. They've kind of set up quite a good front line here, though, a nice wide net to catch any advancing Allies. But they do, like, this is always the vector of infantry attack for this point. You have to come through this building, you have to use these trenches, you have to use these roads and trenches and come in the rear here. You have to come through this front section and do something about this road. Like, the Allies, they shouldn't have these players so deep here. I mean, this is not a good spot for them. They're also getting pinched somehow in the middle by Penny squad, who a minute ago were just spawning over here, but I guess there's a garrison here somewhere that's been missed. Yes, here. And just having that dedication to sweeping the area through in a sort of controlled way. We saw What the Hell do it so well back on Sunday when they were playing against STDB, and just, you know, that could be the difference. I mean, squad line battle, obviously, like, the idea is that it's like a public game, but people know what they're doing, and people do know what they're doing. As you can see, you know, it's hard fought, but it's not as coordinated as, you know, a full clan game. And I think sometimes, like, for the more advanced tactics and for the, you know, unless they're sort of like one-man crazy plays, or only require a couple of people, but for the more advanced tactics, I see this going red here now, that's not good. And for the things like that good line, that good front line, that's where you struggle in squad line battle, I would say. Like, unless you're able to, like, take advantage of the squad leaders, you know, being good basically, and knowing what they're supposed to do, and lining up in the right way, coordinating with each other, you know, you're just not going to be able to. You can get lucky with it, but it's not going to be as consistent. You know, you can't necessarily count on it, definitely. And I think there's a bit of that going on. Look how many as well. Look how many of these attackers. And this is the thing. Like, when you're attacking from this side, you need to be pushing through. You need to be getting this area. You need to be capturing this area, because here, all out here, is not in the sector. The sector's these 4 squares here. And you can see that if they get into, if they can get through these buildings and into this area, through down this road underneath us and into the back here, that road is this diagonal line here. That tank marker is underneath us. You can see how tank marker is underneath us. Here comes a bombing run. That's House's bombing run. It's quite speculative, but it might be enough to allow them to move into this hard cap. Maul up in the mix again. Definitely MVP for the Allies here. Holding it down big time. Marsmick crazy plays across the road. This is where artillery, like where is the Allied artillery right now? They've got a tank, they've got all these infantry, they've got a good chance to cap it here. They've got another tank out to the flank, but it's never going to happen. It's literally impossible for them because they're going to get overrun. There's no way 5 players can take on 15 and win and 2 tanks. It's impossible. Well, it's very, 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 very unlikely. Let's put it like that. Bofrost now inside cemetery. He's pinging the Gary and this OP completely undetected. What's happened to my PBS boys that I was praising so much? Everyone seems to have completely given up on defense now. I see Worst Guitarist is still up, but he's having to run from the other Gary, I guess. Looks like right now, yes, here he is. Oh, he misses the shot. Gets Bofrost, but the OP's down. He's bummed out. He's got to wait 30 or 40 seconds maybe until he can put a new one up. No, he's all good. He's all good. So he gets his OP up, gets that critical defensive kill, but he's still got Penny Squad and Johannes over here pushing this front area, and he's by himself inside the cemetery. I want to say checkpoint like the hard point, but checkpoint is actually the name of the point. 2 tanks going down over here. 75 maybe. Gets shot in the rear from the Panzer IV. Not sure what this one was. Was that the half track? Okay, so still struggling to get back then. They've got this garrison here. This one's obviously down. Not the best spot for them to be in. They're still pushing from the correct areas, but without support, like look how many defenders there are, and just freely able to move into all of these critical areas, able to move into this road, create a line, move into the ditch, create a line, hold out this rear area, create a line. We see Sedi and Make, Drebin, they've got the right idea, pushing into the area towards the rear here, but they do need their support. They need enough people to be there with them. They need tanks, they need artillery. You know, it's a combined arms game, and unless you use the full combination in combination to help support each other, then it's just not going to happen. And with 28 seconds, I didn't even see what the time was. It's a loss here for Housegangster and a fantastic win for the Axis. Great job. I'm surprised, quite honestly, that they weren't able to capitalise, get the 5-0 with that supply truck right at the back, but they did more than enough. GG's. Well played, obviously, to the Allies too, but the strats weren't there. They didn't pay off this time. The coordination wasn't quite there. No artillery. Just allowed the Axis free reign. So great to see from them. Looking now at some of the scores, check the tank squad again. Good plays from them. That's a very high score. Got some good tank kills as well. Maynard, I mean, that's huge. Make huge scores. Blade, huge score. Moot, we've seen. Sedi, we've seen. Company man of the match plays medic. Best medic, best class. Full team of medics. That's what you need, guys. You need all medics and riflemen to keep them in ammo. Okay, so yeah, here's our defensive boys doing a good job for PBS. Where's our guy? Mole, here he is. In Big L squad as well. Big L absolutely smashing it. Marsmig absolutely smashing it. Razan smashing it. Shah, Oberst Klink, all doing a really great job. On the other team, of course, congratulations, Fucksec. We're going to jump in with the Discord in a sec with them. With him, maybe Housegangster, definitely no connection. Let's just jump on there now, see if they're on there. Looks like they are. Well, no connection is. We'll catch up with him in just a sec. But yeah, great stuff from both teams there. Obviously, GG's to the Axis. Very, very nicely done. Very impressive stuff. And great to see, to be honest. That's a tricky one. I feel like there's higher combat scores, but I feel like for me, we saw Mole all the time, all game. It's got to be him, hasn't it? It's got to be him. Right, let's we'll see if we can catch up with No Connection in a moment. Shout out though, first of all, to some of the people who have followed during the stream and before. We've got Trade In, Schmitz Katze. I'm so sorry for butchering your name after you're literally helping me pronounce other people's names. While we were jamming, massive fan, great videos. Saycon, Sirox, thank you. Sounds like we've got somebody else here now. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I mean, after just clutching the game, I feel doing really well.
Yeah, man. Nice win. Congratulations.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a very, very long, hard push from you. About 40 minutes you were just trying to get back. And only in one particular area really was your main vocal point. But you just kept going and going at that angle, and that worked out.
Yeah, you made a really good front line and stuff. So, I mean, what do you think? What would you say is like what's your takeaways? What do you think went well from the game, for fuck's sake?
I feel like sticking to a plan, and personally, I got a bit shell shock the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I felt it was way more serious than just a casual game, and I kind of scared myself.
Like overthinking it, sort of thing.
And then I had to think about it, and then get back into the game, start talking, not just fuck around. And I mean, in the end, I got my shit together. And I mean, don't let me stress this enough, but teamwork really does make a change.
It does as well.
I mean, it's a team game, so it really does matter. And like the support from the other squad leaders.
Hey, House.
Hey guys.
Yes,
we're just asking.
GG's.
Fuck's sake. Yes,
First
GG's.
of all,
Big GG's.
Congratulations.
Really good game.
Haven't seen you around, but good stuff. Don't know too much about you.
Yeah,
enigmatic,
right?
Yes.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, it was.
Was a tough one. Was a mid grind. 2 points close, 1 up, but all in all, I think it was a mid grind. I told my guys, it will be a mid grind. The only thing I think they lacked today was concentration on some points. Other than that, they did their best.
Yeah.
I appreciate the coordination at the beginning. Everything went smooth on the rollout, which I was impressed about Squadline Battle. It has reached a level on which you can actually demand something at the beginning from people and they will understand. I had decent squad leaders today. Many of them listened to the commands. Many of them encountered, as I said, mid grinder. But yeah, all in all, I think the balance was made by tanks. Sometime I don't know, concentration.
I think artillery as well. From our perspective, from up in the sky, the imbalance of artillery. So the Axis basically having those smoke shells when it counted, having the artillery to back it up with the high explosives, and then being able to keep the allied artillery from firing, like just camping the arty, was really, really important.
That's mad respect to Ancient Knowledge, which was our recon, I believe.
Because I think that artillery managed to really help you with that middle cap back, which you fought really hard on for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, the smokes. It was so impressive. Like literally, you drop the smokes. Your guys dropped the smokes. They moved up. They dropped the smokes in front of them again. Moved up. Dropped the smokes in front again. Moved up. It was like textbook.
Who was on RT from you? Because you weren't assigned having an RT. It was like before the game, I just found out that we are playing with only one recon squad, and I was looking at the teams, and you didn't have RT line. And I said, well, we cannot play without recon, but we have RT assigned. I don't know how it goes with assigning who's RT and who's recon, but basically we need to start with 2 recons. Who wants to play RT wants to play RT.
Yeah.
There are some assigned recon and some assigned RT spots. I think those should get filled every game. But if they're not, let's balance somehow. Not with not having. Let's just have balance between the recons, at least. Because we played only with one recon assigned, but someone else took it. I couldn't control that someone else.
I see.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the beast, though, I guess, with squad
yeah.
line battle.
So I told the only recon squad I had, don't even think about pushing the RT spot. And maybe, yeah, when you shot RT, it was no one there to push you. So
you'll see when
easy
you
peasy.
watch the VOD, like the
Yeah.
artillery made a huge difference, and as well on the taking out the
it can happen,
allied artillery on the cemetery was so important, because obviously you've got to, as the allies, you have to move across those open areas, whereas the Axis have that route through the buildings, and then they have like another route through a kind of covered roadway, and they could move up to the walls and to the cemetery, and then they were also getting back up from the artillery, so it really made a big difference, I think. What do you think, maybe Fucksec first, but what do you think maybe didn't go so well and you could have done differently?
Our first grand push, I think it's fair to say, didn't go quite as planned, although we did fall back rather quickly and establish the plan we had in the briefing as a defensive measure, which was really effective.
And why do you think that didn't quite work out at the beginning?
We were spread out rather thin and not that organized in our push. We were also slaughtered many places, which was unfortunate. And
Doesn't
not
help.
It wasn't to blame on any specific squad. It was more of a cohesion, and it could have been way better planned.
How about you, House?
The weak spots.
Yeah, if you could kind of go back and change something, what do you think was
Change
like
something. Maybe yell, defend.
Have 2 recon squads.
No, because no, I won't. No. Come on, man. It's only one recon. 2 players won't count that much, but still, it's cemetery, guys. Checkpoint cemetery, Rousseau. You lose
Such a hard.
cemetery. I mean,
It's one of
it's
the
not Rude
most
Gambus
hard.
field towards checkpoint. It's cemetery towards checkpoint. So it's already hard. We went even harder. So I said, okay, restart, boys. We have 40 minutes left. Let's go. If you want it like this, we can go like this, and we could. Like we could go even further. We got like supplies behind checkpoint. We had everything prepared for attacking. We just needed more time, because people, I think, today wanted to play even more, like that they wanted to play.
Yeah.
It's like giving up on cemetery to play more. I just felt it, and okay, let's play, boys. I don't mind.
Just went for the push.
It's our game, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
We normally see like a lot of impressive movements. So, for instance, like midi kills, running up to an audacious garrison and taking it down. We normally see a lot of that, but we didn't actually see that much of it on tonight. But what we did was a lot of tank kills and a lot of satcheling on tanks. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think there was one point where we had like a 76 south of checkpoint, which got taken out by a tiger. Then I see in the distance a 75 coming, and then behind that one was another 76. I was like, oh my god, House is just laying them out on the battlefield. One point, like the first half, all the tanks were going down to Fox's side, and then on the second half, it was all of your tanks going down. Yeah. It was just a load of
I don't
tanks
understand. I don't understand why they were staying such in line. At one point, they were staying in line. In the beginning, okay, you overwatch, but please, when you have another tank close to you, don't both overwatch. Just push one inside the front line. Try to push them somehow, but this didn't happen. So
yeah, I saw a couple of times as well where they kind of then over pushed as well, like past the infantry, and didn't have support and got taken out a bit needlessly. But maybe that's just like a bit of coordination. Sometimes it's hard to.
They were so pushed out that they had, I think, twice I saw 3, maybe 4 players chasing a tank.
Yeah.
No, seriously, it was ridiculous.
Happened.
So
I remember hearing that over the command chat. We're chasing it down.
yeah, there's plenty of that.
We were just sitting in the grass around two of the tanks,
Yeah.
not waiting for the satchel men to just run up and do their job.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Which was nerve-wracking.
So yeah, but well played again, Fucksec and everyone who played for the Germans. I mean, well played House and the Allies as well. But obviously, GG to the Axis today. It's your first time playing Commander, Fucksec, for Squad Line Battle. Can we expect to see you back again?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, if they want me, of course. Which I hope they do after this.
I'm sure after this you'll
yeah,
be
I'm sure after a week.
very welcome.
But I do hope House is not going to give up yet, and he'll come back for some sweet revenge.
Definitely down for a rematch in the future.
Yeah, that'll be good to
no
see.
worries.
Oh,
I'll be
are we
around.
penciling this in next week?
And House, you're obviously going to come back.
We got to build up. We got to do some build up. So,
and yeah, House, you play every week pretty much, but in different spots. So you'll definitely be back, I'm guessing.
I don't know if Commander, but we'll see.
Only for the rematch.
Mainly when I started. Yeah, well, when I started playing Squad Line Battle, I was playing tanks, so I miss playing this, and I think I'll come back to playing tanks because it's
Fair.
better. Yeah,
Less stressful.
better for me. I mean, yeah. I don't
think
have
just
to kill
having you
guys.
in Squad Line Battle is just good enough. You know, a player like you and with the experience that you've got, it's fantastic to have in the game and the reading of the maps.
Yes.
So
Well, I'm glad to be here as well.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for coming. But so have you guys got any kind of like last minute, like shout outs or anything, you want to do to clans or anybody who's like helped you out or whatever with today?
Well, for me, there's too many people. But,
Too many.
Yeah.
Nice. And go on.
Like in all situations, even bad or worse, bad or good, I think everyone that you encounter in this game actually learns you something about this game and how to encounter like another community and clans and how to talk with them and organize. And it's impressive when something like this comes up and people unite towards a game. It's very impressive for me, the amount of people that are doing this every week. Hat off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. 100%.
And how about you, Fucksec?
I would like to thank one of us for just giving me the opportunity and being supportive throughout my attempt at a battle plan. So
Brilliant. Yeah, obviously thanks to Werner for arranging everything as always, and Dragster as well in the background. So before you go, guys, maybe it's a controversial topic, but seasonal.
Yeah.
Let's ask you an easy question. Do each of you have like some team that you're like thinking maybe they could be like an underdog, an interesting team to watch in the seasonal?
Every day gets different, because people play with other people, and people, I think at this moment, people still try to see what's the best of the best from their community, and you can't really understand, and you can't really compare
until that
you
time
see,
comes.
Yeah, I think
the final teams.
I think as closer to the seasonal, you will actually see the people that are playing, how they play, and maybe not even then, but with the amount of people that are playing now, it's insane. What can happen
crazy.
now, it's insane.
And so many teams in the tournament. Fucksec, are you following the seasonal?
I haven't gotten that deep into the game yet.
Well, you can make sure to catch some of the games on the streams, and
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we kind of talked, me and No Connection talked before the game about like man of the match and things like that. Like people, we're going to watch out for people who played really well. I've got to say, for the Ally team, for me, there was some really, really impressive tank play.
This is one from me to you. Who was the best? Let's say.
So for me, every time when I'm looking at something significant happen, Mulva Falchion is in there.
Who?
Oh,
Mulva Falchion, STDB.
Yeah,
STDB.
He was there all game. got down garrisons. He was like up in the mix, defending, then attacking, then defending again, killing the commander, changing roles, doing all kinds of things. Really, really
Okay,
impressive.
this answers this answers your last question. STDB for me.
Yeah, me too.
I said it.
Oh, the
Yeah, I said
clan,
it.
yeah.
Me
Yeah, I
too.
said it. If you need an answer, it's STDB for me. They're disciplined. They do what it's needed. Not too much, but enough to understand. And yeah, I like them.
And who on the other side? No connection.
I liked Colt.
Their whole squad
Yeah.
in defense.
There were times where they were holding down the attack, and this was straight after House capped the middle point, and they were just building that front line to push back into checkpoint. They were constantly there. They were constantly trying to push back, and they even covered themselves. There, one guy was about to get shot down, but one of his clan members just come up behind him and saved him. And I think that was really good. And I haven't seen Colt play in the Squadland battle, or even in servers yet. I might have seen them but missed it. But from what I saw from them, I thought they had a good game. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they got.
Yeah, brilliant. I would say shout out to Werner Voss as well on the other team.
Oh,
He got Garrison down at checkpoint, and that was the turning point for me. Like that was where all of that effort of that really nice attack with the smokes, that was like the crowning moment of it. When that Garrison went down, it was like everyone was in the right place to take advantage of it. And but if it hadn't have gone down, like would they have been able to push through? So shout out to him as well. But
yeah, it was House nailed it on the head. It was a bloodbath. It was a meat grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that first 40 minutes. After that, it kind of died down a bit.
You know what? Like at one point, I saw all the tanks dead. That's a clipping point of the game.
Yeah.
And I was behind enemy lines, like seeing a tiger quite like coming into the front line, and I had no tanks on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this can turn really bad in 10 minutes. Let's see. So it happened. But shit
Wow.
happens when tanks die.
Yeah.
well, there you have it, everyone.
I
That
think
was shit happens.
shit happens. Quotation. I think the tanks played obviously a huge role, but because of the points that were being played.
No, checkpoint. No, listen, checkpoint is a tank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can say
tanks helped with checkpoint. If
I
it
can
was
give
like
an easy example. I can give you an easy example, guys, because the seasonal is coming. Check the last game that has been played on seasonal on this map on on checkpoint. It wasn't Route de Gambosville, but it was Western Approach, I think.
Yeah.
So even more like middle, south, middle. It was Cemetery, Allies, second point, I believe. It was OC against 116. And OC like held the point for the whole game, like
Nice.
without even pushing second. Like
Yeah,
pushing,
I saw that.
let's see. I mean, you streamed it. I think.
I know.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
does.
I remember. Yeah, I remember. You remember that game? It
I
can be
remember
like a
very well.
whole game mid grind, but
Yeah.
it needs to be all the team inside checkpoint. As soon as we spread and lost our tanks, yeah. And coming back to the tanks, imagine in that game there were tanks sniping tanks. It
Ooh,
wasn't even
nice.
like close encounters. So it's even tougher. It can get even tougher like this. But it's good for people to train.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, good summary. I think Squad Line Battle is a great place to train. Everyone needs to sign up, come and help it get bigger and bigger and even better. And for me, anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. GG's again, of course, to you both and to everyone who played. Thanks, Known Connection, as well. Great stream as always, and thanks for having us on the Discord.
No worries. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone, for
Scott.
coming and jumping on after the game and giving us another entertaining game straight early on in the week.
Yeah, really great stuff.
And lastly, thank to you guys for doing this.
Of course, no worries. It's our pleasure.
No worries. We're not dying. You are.
That's it. It's not stressful for us.
Congrats on the win, Huxek, and
Thank you.
see you on the next ones.
You were
Bye,
formidable
guys.
opponents.
Yep, there we are.
Nice one.
All right,
See you
thank
then,
you very
guys.
much, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, great stuff. So, Housegangster, Fucksec there, no connection. Germans with the win. Semeragles dominated by the Axis today. An absolute meat grinder, as we heard. Both teams playing exceptionally well, but just not pulling it through for the Allies today. Really difficult hard caps for them to defend and to have. Yeah, great game, everyone. Like I just mentioned, come along to Squadline Battle next time. You can sign up starting tomorrow for the next week's one. Anyone can come along. It's just bring some people. You have to bring a squad basically, but it doesn't have to be a clan. It could just be friends that you play with. The idea is that people kind of know how to play the game, so it's a good idea if you know a little bit how to play the game. But as long as you follow the the instructions or whatever, new players very welcome. You can have a go at playing whatever you want, whether it's recon, tanks, infantry, even commander. You saw today it's Fuxek's first game as commander. He just came out of nowhere and won it against one of the really good players of this game. So yeah, just sign up, come along. You can see it's pretty sweaty, but it's a lot of fun, and it's on every Tuesday, 2 servers now. So hopefully see you there and see you next time. That's all from me, guys. Take it easy. Oh, before I go, this video, I should say, will be up on the Twitch for 2 weeks, and then you can catch it on the YouTube if you want to catch it after that. You just follow the link on the Twitch. But with that said, I do believe that is everything, and so take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.